Today, we're going to talk about everything you need to know when you get your Discovery 2200 by Bounty Hunter out of the box. Hang around. Recently, you were on Amazon one night thinking about the grandchild, or maybe you'd watched a really good video on YouTube and you're thinking, I really want to get into metal detecting, but I don't want to spend a lot of money, and I'd like to be able to know kind of what is in the ground. This is the machine for you. You did the right thing. You've got the box. You've unboxed everything. You've got it put together. You've read the instruction manual. This video is to show you some quick tips to get you started that'll make your day much more successful. Hang around. Let's say this is your first time ever firing up the Discovery 2200. Your power button's right here. Everything's super clearly marked on this machine. And let's remember one thing that's quite important. Every time you fire this machine up, it starts up in all metal mode. Very important to know. So if you want discrimination and you don't want to hear the iron, you're gonna want to hit that right there. That's the disc/all metal mode, and that puts you in disc mode. Now your sensitivity, or how much signal we're sending down to the coil, is right here. It's clearly marked with up and down arrows. Before we go any further, let's talk about the zap function. That appears right here. Now what that is for is when you're out using this machine and you're searching along, let's just say you have dug 1,000 pull tabs today and you don't want to dig any more pull tabs. You're just tired of it and you're coin shooting. Well, watch this. We hit the zap button and it's gone. But we still get, that's a penny, we still get our coins. So with your sensitivity on any machine, really, this one included, you notice I was having a little interference earlier when I was showing you some of the other things. Well, if you put your phone in airplane mode, you can crank this thing all the way up, and no matter how close I get, and that could be part of a problem if you're out there your first day and this thing's just beeping all the time. I don't know what's going on. First, try lowering your sensitivity. If that doesn't help, check and see if your cell phone's in airplane mode. All right, let's get started hunting because it's time. Now your sensitivity setting is going to be one of your most important settings that you use the entire time you're using any machine, because areas you will get in will have cell phone towers, they'll have air conditioning units, and you can't always run full like I've got it right now. I've got this one all the way up, so maximum. Sometimes you'll have to bump it down, just say it was being chatty, real unstable, and stabilize it, because you want to be able to hear what's in the ground, and when it's unstable you really can't. So I'm going to crank it all the way up out here because I can. And every time I can, I want to run it with full sensitivity on this machine. So let's go hunting. We're going to head right out through there, and I don't know. Let's see what's there. You want to keep your swing, you know, pretty wide path, but you want to keep that coil level, same height off the ground throughout the sweep. All the way throughout the sweep. None of this going up and out. We call that satelliting. None of that during the process. Because every time you raise that coil, you lose depth, even if it's an inch. That's an inch of depth. So you want to keep it moving nice and steady. This is a motion detector. So if you don't move the metal detector coil or move a target while it's in front of that coil, well, it doesn't pick. You're going to think it doesn't work until you move it. So you definitely got to keep the coil moving. All right, we're on our first target here. The pinpoint, you see how I'm tightening in? This is the long sweep. I'm tightening up my sweep. This thing's about 7 inches, it says on that middle number right there is a depth meter to tell you how deep it thinks it is, and it works well on coin-sized objects. Let's dig that up right there and see what. All right, check right where it's at again. Right there, about 7 inches. This ground's going to be really hard. It has been very dry in Alabama, so we won't dig many targets today. But we'll get you a good start for your first day out with this machine. Now you want to check your hole. All right, so it's going to be something small. That's why it said it was deep, because it was small. All right, that is a 22 lead. And so the reason it was calling it 7 inches is because it was such a tiny target. And that happens a lot of times. It was only about 1.5 inches deep. But that's how sensitive that little machine is. You're not going to miss the little pieces of gold and stuff that are close to the top of the ground in a park. The best lessons are learned as you go, guys. I've learned this one 1,000,000 times. So I'm going to bring it to your attention. Put this phone back in here. Get you guys set up where you can see. There we go. Now this is our hole we were just in to get our 22 lead out of. Now I was checking back over the hole, which is a good thing to do. Always remember, double check your hole. Something else there. So we're gonna go back in, see what it is. All right, it's gonna be in here. Let's see what we got. Gonna be something small again. Probably another bullet. Ooh, it's small. It's gonna be colored like the ground too. This is where if you didn't have a pin pointer, you'd be pulling your hair out. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Another 22 shot. So always double check your hole. You know, it could have been if you'd have been in a park coin hunting, always check over where you pull your plugs out, because there's often more than one thing in the hole. All right, on to the next. This old beer can right here on the ground right there gives me a really good opportunity to share something else with you. When you're in parks or out in the woods or anywhere you go, you're going to get a really good tone out of those. How do you know when they're under the ground that it's a beer can? Well, if you can raise that thing up, look how high I am. It's still picking it up. And watch this coin. I got a penny right there. About half as high, and it stopped. So I'm about 1 foot off the ground, 10 inches. So as soon as I pass that 9-10 inch threshold, that coin goes away. But that's still there. Up to, oh wow, probably 3 feet. So remember that too. That'll help you a lot, and you won't have to dig so much of those big cans in park situations. Now, if you're out relic hunting, you're going to want to dig it all, man. Anything over iron, you're going to want to dig. Well, I hope this helps some of you guys today. I hope your first day out is great. Look back over this video, listen to the tips here and there. I promise you it'll help you. It'll help you a lot. You made a good decision in this machine. This is a good machine with target ID and a depth meter for under $150. Check out Amazon. They always have deals in there. So Appreciate you joining me on Finding Alabama. Y'all come back and see me.